Your Excellency, External Affairs Minister Salman Khurshid, Mr. Siddharth Birla, President of FICCI, Your Excellencies, Ministers and Heads of Delegation of ASEAN Member States, and Secretary General of ASEAN, distinguished participants, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a great honor for me to be representing Foreign Minister Surapong Tawichakchaikul at the 6th Delhi Dialogue here today. He asked me to convey to all of you his warm greetings and best wishes for a most fruitful outcome of this special gathering. I had the privilege to attend a previous session of the Delhi Dialogue and to witness with delight the increasing prominence gained over the years by this unique fora. It is indeed encouraging to note that ASEAN and India have a vast reserve of mutual goodwill and trust, as well as many advantages to reinforce our strategic partnership as a pillar for peace and prosperity in the Asia-Pacific region. We have the benefit of close geographic proximity. Our close bonds of friendship have been nurtured and sustained by our deep-rooted cultural, historical, and religious ties, shaping the minds of our people and influencing our leaders over many centuries. India's Look East policy and ASEAN's Look West policy today have rekindled the interest and desire of the government and people on both sides to work more closely and learn from each other. Given these and other advantages in our relations, Thailand is confident that by working together, ASEAN and India can help shape a better future for our nations and peoples and for the wider Asia-Pacific region. But we need to make the right moves, identify the right strategies, and take the right actions. In this regard, may I offer some thoughts. First, we see tremendous promise for greater connectivity between ASEAN and India. In this regard, we commend India's efforts in encouraging stronger coordination between ASEAN and India on connectivity, and I'm delighted that the ACCC, the ASEAN Connectivity Coordinating Committee, is visiting India at this moment to further the dialogue on connectivity with their Indian counterparts. And on this issue, Thailand places strong emphasis to the completion of the trilateral highway project by 2016. Extension of this highway eastwards to Laos, PDR, Cambodia and Vietnam is also in the pipeline. Thailand also supports the development of the Mekong India Economic Corridor and extensive linkages between ports beyond Tawai and Chennai. Growth corridors should be further developed to bring tangible benefits to the peoples of the region. Thailand therefore supports India's efforts to connect the landlocked 7 sister city-states in the northeast region of India with the planned physical connectivity between ASEAN and India. The overwhelming challenge to connectivity remains the financial aspect. While we can maximize utilization of existing channels of financing, such as the ADB, World Bank, and ASEAN Infrastructure Fund, public-private partnership should be seriously examined as a means to mobilize the required funding. In addition, both sides should also develop institutional arrangements to facilitate cross-border connectivity through development of the ASEAN-India transit transport and multimodal arrangements. Secondly, connectivity offers benefits and can also pose risk on the security front. ASEAN and India share key lanes of maritime transport along the Indian Ocean, so we have a clear stake to promote maritime security. Concerted efforts should also be developed to cope with inherent risk arising from land connectivity. Thirdly, strengthening of the strategic partnership between ASEAN and India cannot be realized if the benefits do not reach down to the people. In this regard, we need to reach out to the wider public on both sides. We also need to ensure cooperation to jointly address threats to human security such as climate change, natural disaster, and food and energy security. we should also explore other venues for stakeholders, including civil society from both sides, to meet and share experience with each other. The meeting of minds between ASEAN and India should be realized at all levels. Finally, beyond ASEAN and India, both sides are key stakeholders in the regional architecture of Asia and the Pacific. It is in our common interest to promote closer connectivity between the Pacific Ocean and Indian Ocean. From Thailand's perspective, the close engagement of India with ASEAN and the Asia-Pacific is not only important but also necessary for the evolving regional architecture. In this regard, we are pleased to learn that during this gathering, our experts and think tanks will examine the role of ASEAN and India in the evolving regional architecture. Before I conclude, may I express my sincere gratitude to the Government of India and the organizers of this dialogue for the warm hospitality and excellent arrangements. I would also like to express my best wishes to the government and people of India for the upcoming general elections in May. Thank you for your kind attention.